Welcome, students and viewers, to this live IELTS session. We are focusing on listening, parts 3 and parts 4. My name is Adrian, and I am broadcasting this to you live from about 500 meters away, the Danube River, capital city of Hungary, Budapest. Welcome, everybody. Materials, the listening, the audio, this exam that we're looking at, it's taken from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com or general IELTS help.com for general IELTS. These websites have over 100 hours of HD video lessons, fully interactive course for your phone, PC, tablet, 6 original tests, lots of help to improve your IELTS band scores. Spend a couple dollars, save yourself another IELTS exam. They're expensive, $300 US. All right. You can also get our books, electronic or paperback version, from Amazon to follow these live classes even better. For the academic ones for this channel, AE Helps Academic IELTS, search for that on Amazon. And if you watch our live streams, which we do just before this class on our General IELTS Help channel, then definitely get the GE Helps General IELTS. If you have questions about IELTS or our products, Adrian@aehelp.com. Send me an email and I will help you out. Hi Parth, hi Naveen, hi Sahil. Good to see so many of our members in on class. Nice and early. Awesome, members. Thank you for your support. Always happy to help you out. Make sure you keep sending me those request classes members, okay? So when you have an idea, send it to me. Begzad, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I'm full of energy. I had a great workout at the gym this morning. I'm planning to go for a run later today, so feeling fantastic. Sahil, if you sent me an email, I'm sure I'll get back to you. Hi Suzanne, hi Parth, hi Surendra. All right, ladies and gents, so today listening, tomorrow we'll do an academic reading example, and then Saturday, special request for the members chat, class flowchart, company structure, example, task 1 essay. All right. Ladies and gents, let's just kick it off right away with some listening section 3 practice. This is test 1, book 1, listening section 3, page 52, if you have our books. Hi, Jason G. Hi, Mahe. Good to see even more of our members coming in. That's great. All right, so we'll do this this listening just to warm up our ears, our brains for English. We'll talk a bit of strategy before section 4. I'm using a Bose speaker, which is on max volume, and my head mic here for this. So if it's quiet for you, please turn up the volume on your side or try to use a headset. It should be okay, but otherwise it's up to you to do what you can. This is our academic IELTS website. This is where the audio is coming from. I'm just logging in at the top there. If you don't have this, click that red button to join our full course. It's well worth the investment. Not my opinion. It's the opinion of all the students who use it. IELTS audio CDs is this tab here. And this is CD 1, track 3, because it's test 1, listening 3. So everybody get your pencils and paper ready. Please, please, please write your answers on a piece of paper, not in the chat. Give every student a fair chance to answer on their own. Don't confuse them with possibly wrong answers. We'll go through the answers together after, okay? So just write your answers onto the piece of paper. Here we go with listening section 3.
Now turn to section 3. Take some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Listening section 3. You will hear 3 students organising a class project. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
I just got an email from the professor saying the due date for our European History group project has been pushed back to Monday.
Great! That means we'll have the weekend to work on it.
I suppose that's good news, but I don't really want to do any homework on my weekend. I had planned to go away with my girlfriend for some relaxation this weekend.
I suppose that's understandable. Maybe we should just have it done by Friday, the original due date. That gives us today and Thursday to finish it.
We can do that, I think. I'm available tomorrow. How about we spend today planning it, assign tasks to take home with us and do tonight, and then meet tomorrow and put it all together? Does that sound right?
That works for me.
That doesn't work too well for me. My afternoon is very busy. I guess I'll just have to burn the midnight oil tonight.
What has you so tied up, Evan?
I have a basketball game after school today, and then my favourite football team plays this evening at 7. It's okay though. I'll get the work done. Let's get started on the planning.
All right. So we have to come up with a 3-panel poster about a topic in European history. I already bought the material for the poster, so we don't have to worry about that.
How much was it?
It was £3.
Okay, we'll each give you £1 for the poster board.
No, don't worry about it. My dad paid for it anyway.
Sounds good to me.
Right then, since there's 3 of us, my idea was that 2 of us could take care of the writing part of the project, while 1 of us could look after the artwork, making the poster look smart.
I'll do the artwork. I think I'm a pretty good artist.
I'll be happy to do half the writing. What topics are we going to choose?
Well, the professor said the topic has to be an event that took place somewhere between 1400 and 1800, so we can't do either of the world wars.
That's too bad. My dad is an expert on the Second World War, and he could have helped me with my part. What are we going to do instead?
You now have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now listen to the rest of the discussion and answer questions 27 to 30.
I was reading my textbook the other day and I read some really interesting information on the French Revolution.
That's a really good idea.
I know. How about instead of doing a summary of the French Revolution, we write about some of the people involved instead?
Oh, I like that idea. So who are some of the important people?
Well, there's the King, Louis XVI.
Robespierre was important, I think.
Yes, he was. And of course, Napoleon Bonaparte.
We should have 4 people, so you can each write about 2 people.
How about Marie Antoinette?
Okay, so we have 4 historical figures. Each of you are going to write about 2. Now we have to decide how much we're going to write. Remember, we have to fill up a 3-board poster.
That's a good point about the 3-board poster. Maybe we should do a 5th person, then we can have 2 figures on each side with 1 in the middle.
Good idea. We can make the middle one really important. We'll make that one Napoleon. As for a 5th person, how about Voltaire?
Good. So how about I do the important one on Napoleon and a smaller one on Robespierre?
Okay, and I'll do the other 3.
How long should each topic be?
I'd say 200 words each for the small ones and 450 for the big one on Napoleon.
I think that sounds about right. What do you think about meeting up later on?
That is the end of section 3. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, students, and you should use that half minute to check your answers. Make sure you didn't make any silly mistakes while the information is fresh in your mind. Okay, let's go through the answers together. All right, here we go. So again, just some warm up. We'll talk strategy in a minute, don't worry. Here we go. So hopefully it was clear for everybody that this is a group project. There are 3 students, 2 women and 1 man. It's a poster board project. So this is that type of common project in university, especially for first and second year, where you have this poster board like this, and then you have people looking. This is a huge poster board, but you have people looking at this poster, and you have people here, in this case, one important person in the middle, and then you have some other figures on the side. So they're making this poster board with some information about the French Revolution, or better said, some people in the French Revolution. Number 21, when does this happen? So when are these students sitting together talking about this project? So Sahil says Friday, Haifa says Friday, Anam says Sunday, Afsana says Friday. Hussein Hassan is the first person with a correct answer. Hussein Hassan says Wednesday. It's happening on Wednesday. Begzad says, yeah, it's Wednesday. Wednesday is the correct answer. Okay, make sure you know how to spell it. Or you could do it like this. All right, that's a simple way. Short form. All right. So in the audio, they said the project due date is pushed back to Monday. So we can work on it on the weekend. And then the man says, oh, that's no good. I have plans on the weekend. And then the other student says, okay, well, let's finish it for Friday, the original due date. That gives us today and tomorrow, Thursday, to work on it. So today and tomorrow, Thursday. If tomorrow is Thursday, it means today is Wednesday. So don't worry if you don't get the first question. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. Again, remember, this is section 3, so don't panic. Okay? This is a typical section 3. So that's why I said last week that you have to get as many answers as possible correct on section 1 and 2, okay? So Wednesday, the discussion is happening on Wednesday. Okay, next question, it's a chart completion. So complete the chart below. Write no more than 1 word. So the group's task, okay? So everything in this column is what the group is planning to do. They're doing the project tonight, and they're putting the project together on this day or this event here. So when the project is completed. Number 22, what are they doing today? What are they doing right now? Jod Singh says planning. Yeah, it makes sense. Jod, good for you. Even if you missed that question, if you're smart, you can probably look at this, go doing the project. Well, what do you do before you do a project? You plan the project. So Roshni, Hussein, Haifa, Afsana, good for you. All of those are correct. You can use all capital letters, just be careful with spelling. So planning. Yeah, they're planning the project today. They're doing that right now. They're doing the project tonight. And when are they putting the project together? When will they put the project together? Begzad says, well, they'll put that project together tomorrow, from what I got. Okay. Absolutely. You are correct, Simran. You are correct, Mario Espitia. They will be putting the project together tomorrow. If you have to guess, it makes sense. Today, tonight, tomorrow. Okay? There is a flow there. Tomorrow, double R. Okay, 2 R's, 1 M. Make sure that you spell tomorrow correctly. If you spell it wrong, you'll get it wrong, especially with a word like that. Okay, so make sure you get that right. Very good. I'm sure some of you noticed that you had to be patient and you had to wait a little bit for some of this information to unfold. Question number 24, it's multiple choice. Again, you had to use a bit of patience. Multiple choice in listening, section 3 and 4, a little bit more difficult, a little bit more put together. You have to do a little bit of listening. Already seeing some answers here. Everybody's saying it's B, it's B, it's B. Who paid for the cost of the poster board? Yeah, Daddy. That's right. Moms and dads pay for a lot of supplies and services for their children. In this case, father didn't cheap out, bought the poster board. B is the correct answer. Absolutely. So capital letter, don't use the small letter. Use capital letter B. The man's father. Because the two students say, should we give you some money for the poster? And the girl says, don't worry about it. Who needs to pay dad back? He paid for it, so don't worry about it. Yeah, B is good, okay? B is correct. All right, let's keep rolling. So here we go. 25-26, it's a short answer. Fill in the blanks. Write no more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. The topic must be an event. So this is the parameters of the project. The topic must be an event that occurred sometime between the years and this. When? When does this have to take place? So Begzat says it's 14,1800. Sahil agrees. And many of you agree. Don't use the word and in your answer because and is given. So for number 25 in your answer sheet, be careful. They might mark you wrong if you put the word and because and is given to you. So all you do is 14, 18, like that with a comma. So comma is okay. Don't use the word to and don't use the word and. Parth, 14th and 18th are not correct because they say 1400s, 1800s, and 14th century and 18th century are not the same. 14th century, careful, equals 1300. Okay, so that would be wrong. Okay, it's 15th to the 19th century. So caution, careful. Okay, be very, very careful with that. All right, what topic would the male student like to write on but cannot due to assignment restrictions? So, what is the topic? Sahil Singh says, Second World War. Now, Sahil, if you write the answer all lowercase, so small s, small w, you'll get it wrong, okay? Yes, World War is 2 words, and it has to be Second World War, and it has to be capital because it's the name of a war. So Roshni Kunte has the first answer that would be marked correct, Second World War. Now, Pachu Yadav, if everybody's looking at your stream there, WW2, that will be correct. Jason G, you'll get it wrong word order. So World War II, I don't think they'll give that one to you, Jason. It has to be Second World War. The word order matters, okay? Parth and Mohit, Parth, they'll mark you wrong because of the small W's. Mohit, they'll mark you correct because of the big W's. The easiest way to write World War I and World War II are with the Roman numerals like this. Okay, that's World War II, and this is World War I. Okay, so that's the easiest way to get that correct. If you put the number 2, that's okay as well. All right, they'll take that. Okay. Z-Tech Saga, or X-Tech Saga. Yeah, that's correct. They'll take that. Just don't put a question mark. So Second World War. Okay, good. So that was the first half of listening section 3. And then we had a little bit of a break to look at the remainder of the questions, 27 to 30. It's 4 marks all in one question. It's matching information, so you have to match the person with the information. A on the side of the poster, B in the middle, or C, they don't include it. So here you have 27, 28, 29, 30, and here you would have your question blanks like this. Okay, and then you would have 27, 28, 29, 30. That's your answer sheet. And then you have to put either A, B, or C into each of these blanks. Now, here, there was a very interesting strategy that you should have and could have used to figure out this one. Okay, so did they talk about Robespierre? So did they talk about Robespierre in this listening? Did they talk about this person? Haifa says yes. So absolutely yes. So it's a good chance that 27 is A or B. Did they talk about Rousseau? Number 28. Did they talk about Rousseau in this part of the audio? Afsana says no, they didn't talk about Rousseau. So if they didn't talk about Rousseau, then we can figure out that that has to be C. I mean, if they don't even talk about it, how could they include this person? So we know for sure that 28 is C because we didn't hear them talk about Rousseau. Okay? We did not hear that name mentioned. Did they talk about Louis the 16? So 29, did they talk about him? Sahil says yes. Furkan says yes. They talked about him. Did they talk about Napoleon? Last one here. Did they talk about Napoleon? Yes. Hopefully all of you are thinking, yep, they did. Okay, so they talked about Robespierre, they talked about Louis, they talked about Napoleon. Who is the most important person? Out of these ones, who is the most important person that they talked about? Who is the most important person that they talked about? Napoleon. That's right. Napoleon is a very, very famous historical figure. Napoleon was the person that they said is the most important person in the French Revolution. He was the leader of the rebellion, of the French Revolution. So where would you, even if you didn't catch this, where would you put Napoleon if you have a poster? So you have a poster with 3 sides. Okay, remember that drawing in the beginning? So you have people here, you have people here, you have people here on your poster. Where would you put Napoleon if he's the most important? On the sides or in the middle? Haifa says, well, logically in the middle. Hushnamo agrees. Yeah, so I would be very confident to say that Napoleon goes into the middle of the poster. So you have this really important person in the middle of the poster. So then, what do you think about Robespierre and Louis the 16? Where would you put them? So if Robespierre and Louis are not as important as Napoleon, where would you put those two? What do you think? See some answers still coming up. Afsana says, so I'd throw them on the sides of the poster because they're not as important. Okay. So the logic here is very useful. Okay. Notice that when you're matching people with information, using logic can really help you figure out the correct sequencing of the answers, even if you're having difficulty with the prepositions like at, on, above, on the side. Okay, so pay attention to logic just as much as you're paying attention to what you actually hear. Okay, of course, focus on what you hear, but pay attention to logic. IELTS is a very logical test, and oftentimes logic can help you solve 50% of the questions in the listening and in the reading, as long as you have good logic. Pachu says logic is time-taking. I agree, Pachu, and that's why you got to practice it. So you have to practice logic, and IELTS is testing your logic, and it's a timed test. That's why. So you practice logic, Pachu, you speed up your logic, and you'll do fine, okay? Remember, Pachu, you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet at the end of the listening. That's a lot of time, so you can apply logic there as well, okay? You don't have to remember the script, Roshni. All you have to remember is Napoleon's really important. These two guys are not. Girls and guys, bonus question here before we go to listening section 4. Who are the other two people? So let's see how well some of you really paid attention. Who are the other two people that they talk about, and they will be on the two sides of the poster, and you don't see them here? There are two more people that will be included in this project on the sides of the poster that were big players in the French Revolution. Who were they? Let's see how many of you visualized this and figured it out. So who were these two important and interesting historical figures from France? Anybody know? One was Voltaire. That's right, Kesey. Very good. Voltaire, very famous writer and contributor to ideologies of the French Revolution. And the other one was Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette, who is also accredited with popularizing the potato as a food because she wore potato blossoms in her hat. So some interesting facts for you there. Okay, ladies and gents, let's go to section 4 now. Many students that watch these classes regularly, this is section 3 and section 4 for part section 1, section 2 that we did last week, so we can check our answers at the end. Okay, section 4, here we go. Topic, climate change. All right. Now, climate change, as soon as you see this, so when you are reviewing your questions before you hear the audio, you should be very cautious about the topic in section 4. Now, section 4 is a little bit different than section 1, 2, and 3. How? Anybody know? Okay, so let's talk a little bit of strategy here before we get into the most difficult section here. So remember that section 4 is intended to be the most challenging part of the listening section. Okay. The content is more difficult. So in this case, it's climate change. There is more paraphrasing between answers and questions. And there's one other way that section 4 is more difficult. Yeah, there's more complex grammar. Absolutely. What else? What else? Anybody know? Yeah, that's right, Hussein. Absolutely. You got the right answer. Yeah, there's no pause. So there's no pause between or after the first 5-6 questions. Like in sections 1 to 3, okay? So all answers come in sequence. In part 4, absolutely. So it's faster, okay? That's another way that it's more difficult. So with these techniques, section 4 is the most difficult, but no need to stress or panic, okay? You can do this, so just have confidence. Make sure you practice before the exam, but remember that it's more difficult, all right? So, therefore, improve your scores by visualizing and thinking critically about the topic. Fast. Okay? You have to be fast. So, in this example, we're talking about climate change. Okay, so when you read this, and the brain is very, very quick, and it has a lot of information. So when you read climate change, what do you see before you even hear any information? So what do you see in your mind's eye when you hear the expression climate change? So what do you actually see? Okay, Afsana, how do you see global warming? So global warming is a philosophy, so you can't just see it. And pollution is also a philosophy. You can't just see it. Vishit, hot, cold, great. Again, that's a theory or a thought. You can't actually see hot and cold. So what do you actually see when you close your eyes and you think of climate change? Violetta says, I see ice melting. Good, Violetta Castro. Yeah, you can absolutely visualize ice melting. Pachu, weather conditions are not proper. What do you mean? Again, that's a thought. Afsana says deforestation, which means cutting down trees. Fantastic. Yeah, we can see that. So we can absolutely see trees being cut down. All right. Sahil says condensation. Parash says rain. Sure, we can see that. Furkan, we can't see heat. Hussein says ice melting. Volcanoes erupting, Hussein. Woo. Yeah, we can see that. I don't know how that's connected to climate change, but possibly. Yeah, I guess from... Okay, Hugh and Dia says air pollution. Now, that's a little bit more easy to visualize. Yeah, we can see the exhaust or the fumes coming out of factories and cars and creating smog. That we can see. People wearing different clothes. Sheikhnaz Gil says changes in clothing. Sure. Sahil says flood. We can see floods. So water rising and floods. So where water moves into cities and on land. Yeah, absolutely. We can see that. Afsana, increase in sea level. Yeah, we can see that. Sure. Sandeep says drought. Very good, Sandeep. Akharia. We can see that. So not enough water, getting dry. The land is breaking, cracking. Okay, great. Yeah, so again, think about what you can see. Don't just think of philosophies or ideas like hot and cold. That's not good enough, okay? So, a quality answer when you're practicing this at home is I can see myself swimming around downtown New York with my yellow rubber ducky because the polar ice caps are melting and sea levels are rising. I also see gray and orange skies from the air pollution caused by vehicles and factories. Okay? Visualize, ladies and gents, your most powerful human ability of your senses is your eyes. It's your vision. Okay, this entire quadrant of the back of your head, your brain, it's called this part here of your brain is called your occipital lobe, and that is used for visual processing. It is far larger than all of your other sensory processors combined. Humans traded their sense of smell, touch, taste, hearing for sight. Okay, we gambled. We are the most advanced visual creatures in the known universe. So use your vision, okay? Use your vision. All right? Practice improving your visualization. So if I read climate change as the topic for the listening section right away, I can see myself standing on polar ice caps. They're melting. I'm falling into the ocean. I'm swimming around a city because there are floods. I'm very, very cold where it used to be very hot. I can see myself shivering. I'm very, very hot. Okay, I'm sweating even though I'm in north part of Russia or Canada. So I can see all of these details, and that makes my mind ready to hear, understand, and use the information from the listening. Okay, now that's half of it. Okay, so that's your visualizing. So improve your score by visualizing and thinking critically. Okay, thinking critically, you have to do that very fast. Also takes practice. All right, and that means think critically means to ask questions: what, why, how. That's the simplest way. All right. So here the example is, and this is very quick. This is in your brain and you're thinking about this very fast. What is climate change? Answer. Why does climate change happen? Answer. How does climate change happen? Okay, and answer. So you should think about those very, very quickly. So what is climate change? Okay, it means the changing in the temperatures and weather patterns of various places around the world. Why does it happen? Well, because of pollution, right, is one reason. Okay. Any other reason why that happens? So human interference. Sahil says, well, because of nature. Yeah, absolutely. Natural cycle of Earth. Yeah, it's not just human. The Earth is changing without our impact also. All right. And how does climate change happen? Well, temperatures rise, they fall. So you're getting the right idea, all right? So combining visualization and combining that with critical thinking, you can get a really good idea of what you're listening for or what you're listening to. And that will really help you to keep up with the pace, the speed, the flow of Section 4 listening and get questions right. Okay, so greenhouse gases, Hussein, that's right. Barrage industrialization has led to this, absolutely. So there are different reasons. Okay, students, you're doing great. Let's now listen and answer. So you have a good idea now. Climate change, you know what's going on. Here we go. Get your pencil and your paper ready. Please do not write your answer into the chat, just on a piece of paper. After we're done listening, we will go through it together, okay? So give everybody a fair chance. Everything for volume is max on my side. So if you cannot hear well enough, use a headset or turn up the volume on your end. Okay, here we go. Again, the audio comes from the website. This is CD1 track 4 because it's test 1, book 1. Section 4. So here we go.
Battery 60%.
Time to look at questions 31 to 40. Listening section 4. You will hear a professor discussing climate change. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Hello class, hope you all had a good weekend. Today we will be talking about climate change. Life on Earth is going to have some adapting to do if climate scientists are correct with regard to their predictions of the Earth's rising atmospheric temperature. Humans and animals alike may have to change both their habits and habitats. The average temperature on the Earth's surface has risen by an estimated 1 degree centigrade in the last 100 years, and this trend is continuing at an ever-increasing speed. Until now, it seems that business and the environment have met as adversaries. But with the growing profitability of green products, perhaps business can play a positive role in the fight to save the environment. There is an ever-growing consensus that the cause of climate change can be linked to human action. To be more specific, environmental change is caused by the emission of greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide is chief among these. So what's so bad about things getting a little warmer, you may wonder? Weather patterns could become more extreme. The polar ice caps could melt. Sea levels could rise, and incidences of famine due to drought could also increase. On the other hand, places such as northern Canada will likely become more productive for farming and mineral and crude oil extraction. What isn't positive about the permafrost melting is that the ice is a carbon sink, and when it melts, it releases even more carbon into the atmosphere. It's clear that humans will have to change their relationship with the Earth and its resources, but the debate remains over who should be leading that change. Advocates of personal responsibility claim that small personal measures, such as changing light bulbs or riding a bike, can make a significant difference. On the other hand, governments from developing countries are calling for economic reparations to be paid by developed nations because, after all, it is the rich who cause most of the environmental damage and made money from it. The other major group that has profited from our increasing environmental degradation are corporations. Business has always been about production and consumption. The invisible hand of supply and demand has long run our economic system, and now there is an ever-growing demand for conservation. The question is, when will consumer demand be commensurate with green technological advances that allow for environmentally friendly products to actually be more profitable than those that pollute? One option to speed up this process is to have governments impose true cost taxes on every product that is sold. This would force prices to include an economic pressure to purchase or use products that will not cause further environmental degradation or carbon emissions. There is little doubt that climate change is going to cause a drastic difference to our environment and way of life. The questions that remain to be asked revolve around how to solve the climate crisis and who will pay for the restructuring of our patterns of consumption that have led to these problems. With the ever-growing desire for green consumer goods, perhaps businesses can answer some of these questions by producing environmentally sound products. Even if business has a role to play in saving the environment, it is clear that we all need to do our part.
That is the end of section 4. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
And no need to panic because you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet after that half minute. So let's go through these questions and answers together, or this summary of this lecture. Here we go. So I hope everybody understood mostly what was happening, even if you didn't catch all the answers with visualization and critical thinking before you listen. I hope that most of it was clear because they did talk a lot about, or the professor talked a lot about what we discussed in visualization and critical thinking. So let's talk about this. Climate change, background information. Humanity as well as other species, instead of species, the professor said animals, may have to drastically alter their what? And Asya Rahim says habits and habitats. Asya, careful, you'll lose that mark just for that second S missing. Okay, they're both plural. Parallel grammar states that if the first is plural, the second should be plural as well. So be very careful you don't lose that mark because of that S. So habits, okay, because it's humanity as well as other species. Their habits and habitats, okay? Those S's are important. If you use all capital letters, that's okay as well, all right? The correct answer there was habits and habitats. Earth's surface temperature has risen an estimated 1 degree centigrade in the past century, okay? Make sure you follow with the question and the speaker. Easy words to catch from the speaker are 1 degree centigrade. Businesses and environment, so I could catch this word to keep pace and follow. Businesses and environmentalists have been at odds, a lot of paraphrasing, they say in conflict with each other, but the emergence of something may change this. So number 32, it has to be a noun because of the preposition of, okay, in the sentence, and it can be 2 words, and the 2 words are green products. That's right. And again, it's a plural. So green products, okay, may change this. Green product may change this is not going to be correct. The emergence of green products may change this. Causes and implications. Climate change is caused by greenhouse gases, specifically what? So number 33. You can probably guess this. If you understand climate change, if you understand gases, and you know a bit of grammar here, specifically, what kind of gas is causing climate change? Shehnaz says carbon dioxide. Good for you, Shehnaz, and it's correct. Begzod has the easiest answer. Okay. CO2. Yeah, carbon dioxide. Absolutely. So carbon dioxide, it's okay if you give the periodic table abbreviation. CO2, they will take that. So good for all of you who got that answer. Fantastic, okay? Here you have to get both words correct to get 31 correct, okay? Keep that in mind. Same thing, you need to get both words correct. Okay, so far, habits, habitats, green products, and carbon dioxide. Okay, good job so far. Warmer weather can cause extreme weather patterns. Ice caps could melt and famine could occur. Northern Canada may become a beneficiary. As far as food production is concerned, okay, paying attention here to food production, it could become a more productive place for what? It's a noun, it's an activity. What activity noun works for there? It already happens a lot in Canada. Begzod says farming. Yeah, farming. Sahil, minerals doesn't make sense when you think of food production. So pay attention, especially when you review this. Okay? So farming. Okay? It's the noun. Or agriculture. Zachariah says agriculture. They'll take agriculture. It's a perfect synonym. So agriculture, if that's what you put in there, I'm sure they will take it. Okay? They should. It's only fair. All right. A big negative is that the melting permafrost contains a lot of carbon which will be released if the ice caps melt. Who is going to change? People who think each person is responsible for themselves believe that small steps such as using energy efficient something. Energy efficient what? Energy efficient lights, Danny from Japan? They might take lights, but the right answer is light bulbs. Okay. So light bulbs is the correct answer. Lamps, Hussein, I don't think so because lamps, I don't think they'll take that. I think it has to be light bulbs. Okay. They might take just bulb. Yeah, if you say bulbs, that might work, okay? Because it can be inferred that we're talking about light bulbs, right? But it's light bulbs. Lights, maybe. Lamps, I don't think so. Governments from developing nations want developed countries to pay them for causing such environmental damage. Economics, the something of supply and demand. This was a little bit tricky. You had to catch the exact words. This one's definitely testing a band 9 level student. Anybody catch number 36? It was a very specific expression. Danny, almost. Just the spelling is wrong on invisible. Okay. Sandeep, Korea, absolutely. Invisible hand. Yeah, the invisible hand of supply and demand. This is an expression. It means you cannot see the doer of the action or the agent. Okay, it's a tricky one. Again, it's a band 9 level question. The invisible hand of supply and demand has been in charge of economics for a long time. Economists wonder when consumer demand for environmental products will surpass products that pollute. One solution to this problem is to institute a what tax on each purchase. This was a little bit tricky too. You had to catch it unless you know this expression from economics. If you're an economics student, you're in luck here because you probably know that there's such a tax called a true cost tax. Okay? Just like when you buy gasoline or petrol, there's an extra tax for pollution, and for cleaning up the environment. That's the true cost tax of oil or petrol. Okay, so this would provide an economic something to buy environmentally friendly products. Here you need a noun, and you can probably figure that out from good logic. Pressure, that's right, pressure. Okay, if you have to pay more for a gas-powered car than an electric car, which is not true yet today, then people would be very quick to change to electric cars, right? So you have pressure to buy environmentally friendly products. Great. Okay, so far so good. 39 and 40 left to go here. Doing excellent, students. Great job. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Conclusion: climate change is going to change our way of life. Who will pay for the necessary changes in our consumption patterns? With the growing demand for environmentally friendly goods, it is arguably who which can best answer this question. It is arguably business or businesses. Both are okay here. Okay? Or businesses. Okay? Both are okay. You can actually fit a plural or a singular in there, and both will make sense. So in this case, if you write business, you're lucky. They actually said businesses, but they will take business because it makes sense. It is apparent, however, that have a responsibility to look after the environment. That we something, Jalpa, almost. There's two words. Asya, that's right. We all. So everyone. We all have a responsibility. So we all or everyone. Okay, we all, Begzod, all capitals, works. Great. All right, students. So if you were in the listening class last week for section 1 and section 2, and you still have your scores, or you remember your scores, you can now count up your scores from 40. Now let's look at the answer sheet here first, make sure we did everything okay. So just give me a second. Okay, so I'll show you, we have our answer keys time-stamped as well. So let's go through the answer keys. You can mark your section 3 and section 4. Add your scores together with section 1 and 2 from last week, and then I'll give you your band score for the listening section. So first, let's look at the answers. 21 Wednesday, 22 planning, okay. 23 tomorrow, 24 B, 25 1400, 1800, 26 Second World War, 27 A, 28 C, 29 A, 30 as B. Okay. 31, this is from section 4. Habits, habitats, should be an S there. Okay. 42, green products. Okay. Should be there. 33, carbon dioxide. 34, farming. 35, light bulbs. 36, invisible hand. 37, true cost. 38, pressure. 39, business or businesses. And 40 is we all. Okay, add up your scores, students. So add up your raw points from 40 if you have section 1 and section 2. Tell me what you got, and I will give you your band score. When you go to our website, okay, I'm logged in to the My Student account here, but here, let's make it nice and dark so you can see the bright background. When you go to the bottom of the website, even from the home page, you will see that there's this link called a score calculator right there. Okay, so when you click on that score calculator, you can actually figure out your band score. Okay, so 2Oog says, I got 29 out of 30. So 2Oog, let's see what 29 is. Okay, so 29 is a band score of 6.5. I'll show you. Okay, so your raw score goes in there, and 29, it's not bad, 6.5. So that's pretty good, 2Oog. All right. Shahar 18, that's probably, I'm guessing, just for section 3, section 4, right? Begzod, you have 2 mistakes, so you get 8.5, I believe. I'll double check that for you, but 38. Yeah, 38 Begzod is 8.5. If you have 1 mistake only, then it's a band 9. Okay. All right, Robin says 29. Students who don't have the section 1, section 2 scores, don't worry. Just watch the video from last week and then count up your scores. Go on the website, click the calculator, and then we'll figure it out. Jason G, 8, not bad. Kevin Bro says, I got 31. 31's 7, Kevin. So that's not bad. Okay. So again, use that calculator and hey, join our full course. Lots of goodies there for you. All right, students, fantastic job in today's class. As usual, some great participation. Tomorrow, we are doing academic reading with some strategy for questions. I'll bring up the brightness here for us again. Here we go. There I am. Don't forget, academic IELTS, aehelp.com. General IELTS, gieltshelp.com. Tons of great materials. For sure, if you spend 10, 15 hours on our websites, you will bump up your score on the IELTS. So it's a great idea. It's a great investment. Hope to see you there. And I hope to see you in tomorrow's class. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. It was a pleasure to teach you. Remember, you have brilliant minds. Have faith in yourself. Have confidence. Believe in yourself. And have a great rest of your day and a great rest or sleep if you are getting ready for bed. Bye for now, everyone.